Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade has made over $53 million in little more than 1 week. Once again, Harrison Ford finds himself all alone at the top of the box office, a spot that fits him like a felt fedora. Everywhere, it seems everyone is running to keep up with the Joneses. There's the record-breaking box office numbers, the special treatment at the Smithsonian where Indy's trademark fedora and leather jacket were made official objects of Americana. And there's the character himself, a daring archaeologist named Indiana, played for the third and supposedly last time by Harrison Ford.
That should do it.
Were you as anxious to get back to Indiana Jones as the fans seem to be to have him back on screen?
Well, I was pleased to do it. I mean, when we finally found something that we all were excited about, we being Stephen and George and I would not have been pleased to do it if we hadn't been able to expose a side of Indiana's personality that we hadn't seen before. Some more depth of character I thought was necessary, and we got it in spades, I think.
One of the new elements is Sean Connery as Indiana's archaeologist father.
You call this archaeology? Get out of there, Dad!
But the old elements are intact as well. The exotic locations,
Action.
a beautiful woman, and the action that makes the Indy series an action-adventure.
Kids, don't try this at home. It's really best left to professionals like us. People who really know what they're doing.
You have almost a Cary Grant characteristic about you in that you make the work look so effortless. Is it really, I mean, or was it the first time out?
It's never effortless. I mean, it's rarely easy. But I mean, you can't let them see the sweat. You cannot allow the audience to know what it costs you to do that, whatever it is that you're doing.
Now, the scene with the rats.
Yes, the rats.
The rats weren't all real, were they?
Well, you know, people have mentioned something about mechanical rats. I never saw any mechanical rats. All the rats I saw were real.
And they were like the kind that, you know, regular rats that you scream
They
at
were
about.
the kind. They were the real rats, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have any equivocation about doing scenes with sort of reptiles and rats and all the stuff you've been involved with?
No, it's people that worry me. Oh, rats.
With all the action surrounding Indiana, it's surprising that Harrison Ford lives a rather low-key life in Wyoming with his family. It's only to promote a new film that will entice him into interviews.
As well as being a pretty face, I'm a businessman. I mean, this is my job. I have one product. It's the services I provide as an actor. It seems to me foolish not to support the enterprise.
And it's an enterprise supporting him well enough to pick and choose the projects he wants to do and when he wants to do them.
I just want to do good work with good people. And it's been like that from the very beginning.
That looks great.
No, just another day at the office.
When Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade reaches the top 10 box office list of all time, which it is destined to do, Harrison Ford will lay claim to the lead role in 6 of those 10 movies.
Amazing. Well, the new Indiana Jones movie is scoring big points with moviegoers, placing 4th on the list of the last 100 movies surveyed by MovieTrack. The only thing they didn't like is the fact that this may be Indiana's last adventure.
Right on target. That's what audiences are saying about Indy's latest adventure.
We found it.
Almost all the theaters we surveyed were sold out, and nearly everyone thought the adventure was outstanding or above average. Hollywood accountants will be happy to hear that nearly 6 out of 10 people were so impressed, they'd pay to see Indy do it all over again.
Dr. Jones. Yes?
Sean Connery was a big hit as Indy's dad.
Look, we'll discuss this later. Or she'd have mailed it to the Marx brother. Will you take it easy? Take it easy!
Why do you think I sent it home in the first place? So it wouldn't fall into their hands.
And although men like the adventure a little more than women, one moviegoer summed it up for all of us by saying, quote, "I hope this isn't really the last we see of Indiana."
Another moviegoer said, do more, use Sean Connery and Harrison Ford together again. And yet another said that she could do without the rats. And the last comment we got, James Bond was excellent.
Sean Connery can't get away from it. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, will set out on its journey into theaters this coming Friday. This time around, the crew of the Starship Enterprise will have a renegade Vulcan to deal with. Most of the action in this 5th installment of the Star Trek movie series takes place on the brand new Enterprise.
Plot course for number 3, Mr. Sulu.
Aye, sir.
Jim, if you ask me, and you haven't, I think this is a terrible idea. We're bound to bump into the Klingons, and they don't exactly like you.
Feelings mutual. Engine room.
What do you hear?
We'll need all the power you can muster, mister.
Don't you worry, Captain. We'll beat those Klingon devils, even if I have to get out and push.
What's the matter, Jim?
I miss my old chair.
Captain Kirk, McCoy, and Spock have their camping vacation on Earth cut short by the news a Vulcan from Spock's past is determined to take over the starship for his own journey.
Our destination is the planet Shakari, the center of the galaxy.
The center of the galaxy can't be reached.
As well as facing the dangers from the Vulcan, the crew must also overcome the persistent Klingons. Trade bearing 105, Mark II.
Go.
William Shatner, by the way, was also the commander behind the cameras for this, the 5th installment of the Star Trek motion picture saga. This makes his motion picture directorial debut.
How's that movie rated?
PG.
Okay, good. Want to know that. Hollywood's most successful slimy writer. When we return. Most writers who come up with slimy stories for the movies walk around with their tails between their legs and try not to be recognized. Harold Ramis is proud of the slime he created. Who wouldn't be? John Tesh reports.
Let's suck in the cuts, guys. We're the Ghostbusters.
As co-writer with Dan Aykroyd of Ghostbusters 2, Harold Ramis was faced with an enormous challenge: how to top the first film, the highest-grossing comedy ever. For Ramis, a strong plot seemed the logical place for him to start.
The trailer opens, the narrator saying,
At the stroke of midnight, on New Year's Eve of the last decade of the 20th century,
America's largest city is finally going to pay for the nastiness of its inhabitants.
So, with New York about to get slimed, the Ghostbusters are pressed back into service. Sounds simple enough, but Ramis also felt the boys should have their share of misfortune. So,
Unexpectedly, at the end of the first movie, instead of being heroes, it turns out that having destroyed a large apartment building in New York and almost destroyed the city, we got blamed for it.
although Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray are undoubtedly more high-profile, Ghostbuster Ramis boasts a comedic resume nearly unmatched in Hollywood. As either writer or director, Ramis has worked on Animal House, Stripes, Meatballs, Caddyshack, National Lampoon's Vacation, and the 2 Ghostbusters films. Ramis credits part of his success with the work at Chicago's famed Second City.
We learned a great process at Second City, which was never to say no. If someone has an idea, you force yourself to say yes and then add something or put a spin on their idea that makes it better.
2 in the box, ready to go. We be fast and they be slow.
Much of Ramis's Second City work was with his Ghostbusters collaborators, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. And perhaps this family feeling is also part of their secret for success. Or then again, maybe not.
What do you guys talk about? Bill talks sports a lot. Dan talks vehicles and weapons. I talk psychology today.
Of course.
And Ivan talks about picture grosses and marketing.
Good
Ghostbusters 2 will be in theaters from coast to coast in 2 weeks.
If you really wanted a ghost busted, really busted, you might call Harold Ramis or his buddies. I'd call Jim Brown. He's back in another movie.